Hello there. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are on day 6 of our Summer Connection Challenge for parents and their teenagers. We know that digital world is here to stay. iPad, iPhone, everything, or I know some Android lovers. But today our day 6 challenge is on practicing patience and perspective using puzzles. There you go, the P's. Practice patience and perspective using puzzles. So we're going to go back to my book, Practically Connected Parenting, 21 Ways to Create Timeless Memories in the Teenage Years. If you don't have your copy yet, grab your copy so you can join us. We're on day 6. We still have several days to go. So I'll read from chapter 6, page 42. In our fast-paced world, filled with distractions, meaningful family time often gets left behind. With the screens vying for our attention and schedules pulling us in different directions, finding an activity that naturally fosters connection can feel like an intricate puzzle on its own. Then, that is why and how I discovered the enchanting power of puzzles. Yes, puzzles. During summer and winter breaks, any of those long breaks, I initiated a tradition. I set out a puzzle station in a central location in our living room. I bring out a big table, put the puzzles on there. The puzzles range from 30 pieces to 1,000 pieces. It's like an open invitation, waiting for anyone to stop by, even for just a moment, to add a piece. And all throughout that holiday season, people have time in the house to just sit there and put in some pieces. Or you just stand up, you find one piece and find where it belongs. And before you know it, at the end of that holiday, the puzzle pieces are completed. So I'm going to show you the puzzle piece we completed. The Noah's Ark. It has 550 pieces. But there's a puzzle piece that we haven't completed. This one is in the manger scene. And this one has 1,000 pieces. So you can see that it's not about completing the puzzle pieces all the time. It is the connection you build when you are doing it. And most importantly, the practice of perspective and patience. So let's dive into our discussion today. You know, I always have my sheet because I don't want to forget anything, right? So I have a question for you. Have you realized that when you are actually doing those puzzles, you're looking for one piece that connects somewhere, and somebody else joins you and they find it right in front of you? That is what it feels like sometimes, trying to find what will help me connect with my teenager. So when you complete puzzles together, think of it. You're having perspective, the big picture. You're having patience, because it takes patience to find the pieces that go together. There are 3 lessons I want us to learn. Life skills that our teenagers cannot do without, that we can teach even just by completing puzzles. The first lesson is patience. Learning how to just slow down and focus. The next one, number 2, is perspective. Realizing that sometimes you just need to step back and see the big picture. The third thing we're going to learn is perseverance. Sticking with something even when it's frustrating. How many times have you had a teenager say, I just feel frustrated about this thing? Or maybe you yourself as a parent. I mean, we know that terrain can be easy when you have deadlines to meet. Homework is due or project is due. You can either get frustrated or you can have perspective and patience. So let's unpack it for a minute. When it comes to patience, we live in a world of instant gratification, drive-throughs, right? Instant messaging, instant results. I mean, I was at a wedding the other day and there was this camera. You take your picture and it literally puts one color at a time, as if you're painting. The picture slides in, slides out, and it's painting the pictures of our outfit onto this picture, and then it spits out a beautiful picture. Talk about instant. In our days, you have to finish the roll of films, take it out, and then take it to Kodak to print it out for you. Instant. Life doesn't always work instantly. So, our teenagers need to learn patience in 3 different areas I will mention today. Patience when they send a text and the friend doesn't reply. Go about doing other things and wait for the reply. Struggling to understand math. The other day, my son had a question with his math problem, and I told him, go. His sister usually helps him because they changed the method of math, right? So I said, why don't you go on Khan Academy? They will explain everything to you. So again, remember, we still use the digital resources, but now we're helping them see it's a resource. That was yesterday's lesson, by the way. And then the number 3 way of patience is saving money instead of buying on impulse. Encouraging our teenagers to save money and not just buy everything they see, because they might have a bigger thing they want and they need all their money. So what problem does having patience actually solve for our teenagers? It helps them to handle frustrations when there is delay instead of blowing up or instead of giving up. It teaches them to slow down, to breathe, and to trust the process. Because we know that everything doesn't happen like that. The other day, my son, when he started playing basketball, by the way, I shared about his basketball story also in day 1. And if you haven't caught that session, day 1, I talked about him, my son playing basketball. So initially, after each game, if he doesn't win, he's like, I'm like, you can't keep doing that. And he'll be there crying. You can't keep doing this if you're going to go the long haul. You don't need to blow up on yourself. Just be patient and play the game to the end. Then you can go and review later when you get home. Sometimes the coaches, there's one coach during training sends their training video so they can review. But not every coach does that. But it's a good thing to go through the game and then go and review. So if you have a kid who plays sports, we need to teach them that patience. Everybody must take math and pass, right? Patience in learning, because not every math doesn't just come like that. And so, but one game I can remember in particular, one of his, I think it was the opponent's team member. The boy is good, but he was so frustrated that he blew up and started saying things. The referee had to send him out, and the dad followed him outside to go and talk with him, and he wasn't allowed back into the game. So that is what they risk in losing. A chance to shine just because you're frustrated. So when we teach them patience, and it's just by completing one piece of a puzzle at a time. Patience, cultivating patience in times where there's no pressure, helps you to rise to the occasion when pressure calls. Number 2, perseverance. Complete puzzles and teach perseverance. Not everything comes easy. Sometimes it takes several tries before you can accomplish something. So, how will our teenagers practice perseverance? When they're practicing an instrument, playing sports. Well, I have a friend, her daughter takes a dance routine. And so, she was practicing, and she was so good that she made the next level in her dance competition, and so she has to go to these other regionals and things. So this is what happens when we teach our children patience and perseverance, because not everything comes easily. Studying when a subject is hard. I know we were having a conversation with one of my daughter's coaches. This is a life mentoring coach, and we were talking. And actually, that was just last night. And we were talking to my daughter. So which of the classes do you tend to focus more on and the other ones stay on the back burner? So she said sometimes, because she was taking advanced English, it was harder for her in her senior year. And so she had to really spend more time on it. And some other classes, like ceramics, which is not hard but enjoyable, had to wait. So I saw her when ceramics is due. Sometimes she's staying up almost all night just to finish her ceramics. So sometimes it takes perseverance to just finish that thing. And number 3 here is applying for job or scholarships. I know my daughter who just finished college, she had to apply for scholarships, and thankfully she got some of it to be able to go to the school she went to. And being able to, and also applying for jobs. She's been applying for jobs and internship, and so she has to keep persevering to get to it. So this is how, when something is harder, we can just completing puzzles teaches them perseverance. So when that occasion comes for things that need more time, then they will have learned perseverance to just keep going until they get their breakthrough. So this is how we can connect with our teenagers. We're just building puzzles, but we're also teaching life skills that will serve them well. The problem this perseverance solves also is it helps them to fight the urge to quit. It teaches teenagers to do hard things and finish what they started, so that you don't just abandon it because it's too hard. You find other ways of figuring it out, of getting it done. This is teaching a life skill in a moment where there's no pressure, so that when pressure do come, because we all know pressure would come, then they can bring that from that toolbox and get their perseverance into whatever they need to accomplish. So number 3 is perspective. I have an emoji of eyes here. I should have brought out my sunglasses to help us see. But perspective is helping them see the big picture, not just what's happening right now. Like I told you, we completed this puzzle, right? We completed this puzzle. We saw the big picture, so we kept on going. And that was exciting when we finished it. I have a picture I took again. See, that's what happened when the pieces were scattered. I had the picture, and when it was completed, I also have a picture. That is how you build memory, one activity at a time. And my book has 21 of those activities. You're not just building memories, you're building life skills into your teenagers as you spend time with them away from all the noise of the digital world. And so let's go back to perspective. It's about seeing the big picture, not just what's happening right now. So sometimes it's what's happening right now that's calling attention, the ding, the notifications, living beyond that and seeing the big picture. So how do we help them in perspective, or how can they apply perspective in friendships? Realizing that when a friend is in a bad mood, it's not personal. Why is my friend not talking to me? Oh, my friend didn't talk to me today, they blew up. It may not be personal. It may not be because of you. So seeing perspective so you can help enhance your relationship. Another thing is in family rules, to understand that boundaries are out of love. Yes, so we as parents, I'm going to readjust. I think the sun is getting to me here. We have to readjust, right? And as parents, let the boundaries that we give be out of love, so they can understand it. Because, they won't be in our house forever, right? They will also have a family of their own. So when we are able to explain boundaries to them in a loving way, it helps them also as they grow up to be adults and have families of their own, to send boundaries not out of frustration, but out of love, to teach life skills, to protect, to guide. And number 3 is perspective on social media, remembering that what you see is not the whole story. I mean, this happens too often. I mean, we can't tell everybody's story, but I have friends that I know they've confided in me about things, maybe during a coaching or just friends conversation when we met at a women's group. But on Facebook, the only picture you see are the beautiful ones, because you don't know their story. And so we can help our teenagers see life with perspective. And that's again what the puzzle does. Help you to see that, wow, I'm putting one piece on another with the perspective that it's part of a bigger picture. So helping them see that on social media, because what happens is, I talked about this yesterday, using digital tools as resources. When they go online and they scroll on Instagram, TikTok, all this Facebook, they come back feeling sad for themselves that they're home and their friends are having fun. It's perspective. It is perspective. So the problem this perspective solves, it prevents overreaction and assumption. Don't assume that that person's life is all beautiful that you see on the social media, and don't overreact to your environment. It teaches teenagers to pause, to reflect, and to consider more than one angle. There's always two sides of a story. There's always two sides to a coin, right? So the problem it's solving, when they can look with perspective, is important. It helps them to see that my life is not just what is happening right now. I need to dream and picture my future as well. So in my book, Practically Connected Parenting, I talked about how the missing piece in parenting is like a puzzle. It's often a matter of perspective and perseverance. It's not just about finishing that task or finishing the puzzle. It's about doing it together. These are skills that every teenager needs, not just in school, but for life. And guess what? When you work and finish puzzles together, you're not just passing time, you're building connection. The real reward is not the completed puzzle. It's the conversation that happens during the process. It's the teamwork that you do. And it's the memories that you are building together. So, why don't you grab a puzzle today? Invite your teenager. Like I said, I put it in a strategic place in our living room. I bring out one of those big tables and I pour the puzzle piece there and I put the box. So I start some of it, and when my kids are passing through, my husband, everybody stops and put a puzzle piece in. When all of us have time, we pull a chair up and do some of it, right? So make it something that you celebrate each piece that is found. Let the puzzle become a mirror of life lesson. You're teaching patience, perseverance, perspective in that process. And honestly, the challenge gives you a tangible way to model what you want your teenager to learn for life. You celebrate, and it turns your ordinary days into something unforgettable. Like I told you, I have pictures of what those puzzles we did, right? So, but if you try the challenge today, take a picture and send it to me. This is day 6. We're building connection one piece at a time. And, let me just share with you some puzzles that I have used also in my family. We live in America. I know they teach about the United States in school, but do we know in perspective when we're talking about a city or we hear on the news what location it is? So this one is 50 United States puzzles. It only has 60 pieces. So this one is very easy to finish. And we use that one, and it has their capital. So you're like, what's the capital of this? Now you can teach each other something like that. And then because we had lived in Canada too, we also have the 100 pieces of Canada. So we can know, you know what? We lived on the East Coast. We have friends in Alberta. We just went to Alberta the other month. And so Niagara Falls is all the way there by Lake Ontario. So helping to take perspective. Where is this province in perspective of Canada? And guess what? I'm from Nigeria, so I also have a Nigeria puzzle. So helping them see that the state I come from, the state my husband comes from, the city my parents live, the city I went to school, the city my sister lives. So we complete the puzzle of Nigeria, and this one has 100 pieces as well. So perspective, patience, perseverance, we are teaching when we're completing puzzles. And of course, we all live in the world, right? So we also have this big giant puzzle of the world. Okay, where is North America in reference to Africa, in reference to South America, to Asia? I have friends from Taiwan. She's on vacation, so I can point out where that is in the world. I mean, we have a globe at home, but the puzzle pieces, with every piece, we're connecting the world together. I have family that live in Europe, so we can begin to connect this. And I have a friend from New Zealand all the way by Australia, so we can have perspective of where things are in the world. And finally, the puzzle piece I'm going to share with you is Lion Guard. I like this because when I teach at the high school and I'm teaching about teamwork and personality strengths. So because I'm a consultant in DISC method of human behavior, and I'm trying to help them see how their strength is needed for a group. And so when we do the Lion Guard puzzle, by the way, we timed them, and you can see TJ just trying to put a puzzle piece together. It's just 24 pieces, but they just come together. I choose different personalities, like the dominant style, the influencing style, the steady style, the compliant style. I make a team out of them, and they get to put these puzzle pieces together. And you can see the D saying, no, let's start with the corner. The I saying, what, let me have. And then the S is saying, no, when we do, you can, then you see, and the C says, oh, you know what, let's move it this way. They're trying to make it perfect. So you can see the personalities come out, they use their strength. It's teamwork, helping them use their language to connect. Make school fun, that, I'm bringing my strengths to the table. I'm part of accomplishing something. So this one is a good one in building, because the characters in Lion Guard, they all have the strong one, the fast one, the one with the keenest of sight, and the exciting one. So building puzzles together helps you see how your teenager is thinking, helps you have these conversations that help you know each other better. And so I want you today, like we just said, day 6 is complete puzzles together and build connection, teach life skills, perseverance, patience, perspective. Teach it in the moment where there's no drama, where there's no life pressure, so that when that moment comes that they're under pressure, they'll remember to be patient, to stop and breathe. They'll remember perspective. They won't just want things instantly. They can finish what they started. I mean, let me, I have a friend, I was talking with her. Her son wanted to quit high school. And we will have conversations on and on, and tell her to just keep encouraging him. Finally, he finished, but then he refused to go back to school, and he wouldn't even get a job. He sat at home for more than a year. And, I know there are other challenges going on, but teaching them to persevere, to complete something. So it's a life skill that will not only help them in school, but to able to become self-led. That's teaching them self-leadership. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me again. I'm Remi Ayodele, the proud author of Practically Connected Parenting, 21 Ways to Build Timeless Memories in the Teenage Years. Grab your copy today on Amazon, whether you live in UK, amazon.co.uk, you live in Canada, amazon.ca, whatever Amazon is, you can find this book. And join us on the journey. So I look forward to seeing you on day 7 tomorrow. And actually, let me give you a teaser. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about play board games together. Honestly, I'm going to share a board game story with you don't want to miss. And Uno, oh my gosh, how I won Uno. So thank you so much for joining me. And just a trivia to close. Can you tell I like pink? So I have a pink earring today. I'm wearing a pink skirt today. And of course, having been talking for a while, I also have a pink cup. It has water and lemon inside it. So enjoy your Sunday. My family is calling me. It's lunchtime. Thank you for joining me.